Be delusional. The phrase sounds like self-destruction, like ignoring reality, like the advice of someone who has given up on truth. But what if delusion, strategically deployed, is the most practical tool you never used?
Every great achievement began as a delusion. A man who thought humans could fly. A woman who believed she could lead a nation. A teenager who dreamed of changing technology from a garage. Reality said impossible. Delusion said watch me. Reality was wrong.
The problem is not delusion. The problem is scale. Small delusions destroy you, thinking you can eat anything without consequences, that you can skip work without repercussions. But grand delusions move mountains. They just require a different relationship with failure.
The dark secret. Reality is negotiable. What was impossible yesterday is routine today. What is laughable now may be standard tomorrow. The only difference between delusion and prophecy is time and the stubbornness of the one who refused to stop.
Conventional wisdom says, be realistic. Set achievable goals. Don't reach too far. Conventional wisdom produces conventional results, which is to say, mediocrity. The person who never reaches for the impossible never fails spectacularly. They also never succeed spectacularly. Second, protect your delusion from realists. They will try to save you from disappointment. They mean well. Ignore them. Your delusion is not their business. Do not discuss it with people who cannot imagine beyond their own limitations. Here is the method. First, choose a delusion that serves growth, not destruction. Wanting to write a novel is a useful delusion. Wanting to fly by flapping your arms is not. The delusion must be possible, eventually, through effort, learning, and time. Fourth, recalibrate failure as data. Your delusion will not work the first time, or the 10th. Every failure teaches you how to adjust your delusion until it fits reality. Edison did not fail at the light bulb. He found 10,000 ways that did not work. Third, take small, real actions toward your delusion. Delusion without action is just fantasy. Delusion with action is strategy. Write one page, make one call, take one step. The delusion becomes reality, one small, boring action at a time. Fifth, surround yourself with fellow delusional people, not yes men. People who also reach for impossible things. They will not laugh at your delusion. They have their own. They will offer genuine feedback, not cynical dismissal. Find your tribe. The most powerful delusion is the belief that you are not done, that you are still becoming, that your current limitations are not final. This is not fantasy. It is documented reality. People learn, people grow, people transform. The only people who don't are those who believe they can't. Be careful. Delusion can become isolation. You need reality checks from trusted sources. The line between strategic delusion and dangerous denial is the willingness to adjust. If your delusion requires you to ignore all evidence, it is no longer strategic. It is self-destruction. You have been told your whole life to be realistic. Realistic people live safe, small, predictable lives. They die with their music still inside them. The delusional people, the ones who believed when no one else did, they are the ones who changed everything. Do not wait for permission. Permission will not come. The realist world does not approve of delusion. It will never applaud you for reaching too far. Until you succeed. Then it will pretend it always believed in you. Start before they believe. Start while they laugh. The world needs your delusion. Not the small, safe version of you. The delusional version. The one who believes they can write the book, start the business, change the career, find the love, make the art. That version is the real you. The realistic version is just the version that gave up. The most tragic words in any language. I could have. I could have tried. I could have risked. I could have been delusional. But I was realistic instead. Do not let those words be your epitaph. Be delusional while you still can. The greatest delusion of all is the one you are currently living. The belief that you are not capable of more. That is the delusion the world sold you. It is time to buy a different product. It is time to be delusional about your own potential. You will fail, probably more than once. The delusional person fails publicly, embarrassingly, spectacularly. And then they get up, and they try again, and again, and one day they succeed. And everyone calls them an overnight success. Be delusional. Not about everything. About the one thing that matters. The thing that keeps you awake at night. The thing you would regret not trying. Be delusional about that. And let reality catch up to you. Part 1 gave you permission to be delusional. Part 2 gives you the strategy. Because raw delusion without method is just chaos. Delusion plus discipline is alchemy. You need both the madness to dream and the sanity to build. The first strategy? Double your timeline. Realistic people underestimate how long greatness takes. They give up after 6 months. The delusional person says, this will take 5 years, and then doubles it to 10. Why? Because pressure kills the soul. Patience feeds it. Expand your horizon until fear has no place to hide. The second strategy: fail in private, succeed in public. Social media has convinced you to share every step. Do not. Your delusion is fragile in its early stages. Protect it. Let the world see only the finished work. They do not need to see the 10,000 failed sketches. The fourth strategy: anchor your delusion to identity, not outcome. I am a writer survives rejection. I want to publish a book dies with each rejection letter. Anchor your delusion in who you are becoming, not what you are achieving. The outcome is temporary. Identity is permanent. The fifth strategy: delude upward, not downward. Some people use delusion to justify inaction. I'll be discovered tomorrow, so I don't need to work today. That is downward delusion. Upward delusion says, I will become someone who works so hard that discovery becomes inevitable. Choose your delusion carefully. The third strategy: build a delusion buffer. Your delusion will be attacked by realists, by cynics, by people who gave up on their own dreams. You need a buffer, a story, a ritual, a physical space that reminds you why you started. When doubt comes, go to the buffer, not to argue, to remember. The sixth strategy: ritualize your delusion. Your rational mind will forget why you started. Your body remembers rituals. A specific song played before work, a candle lit before writing, a walk taken before creating. Train your nervous system to enter delusional mode on command. The eighth strategy: schedule delusional time. Your job, your responsibilities, your obligations, they will fill every available hour if you let them.
You must carve out delusional time. 1 hour a day. Protected. Non-negotiable. The world can wait. The 9th strategy? Steal from other delusional people. Not their work, their mindset. Read biographies of people who achieved impossible things. Study how they spoke to themselves during failure. Adopt their phrases. This is temporary. Failure is tuition. I am becoming. These words become weapons. The 7th strategy? Create a delusion board. Not a vision board of magazine cutouts, a strategy board. Write your delusion at the center. Around it, write every obstacle you can imagine. Then, next to each obstacle, write a potential solution. The obstacle becomes a problem to solve, not a reason to quit. The 11th strategy? Delude about others, too. Not manipulatively, generously. See the delusional potential in the people around you. Tell them you believe in their impossible dream. Be the person who says you can do that when everyone else says be realistic. Their success will feed yours. The 10th strategy? Celebrate small, delusional victories. Your brain needs proof that the delusion is possible. Finished 1 page? Celebrate. Made 1 call? Celebrate. Showed up for your delusional hour? Celebrate. The celebration wires your brain to believe. The 13th strategy. Treat your delusion as a second job. Not in the draining sense, in the serious sense. Show up. Put in the hours. Do the boring work. The glamorous part, the success, the recognition, is a byproduct, not the work. The work is showing up. The 12th strategy? Build a delusional archive. Save every small win, every kind word, every piece of progress. When doubt attacks, and it will, open the archive. Not to prove anything to anyone else, to remind yourself, I have come this far. I can go further. The 15th strategy. Delude despite evidence. Evidence says you will probably fail. The statistics are against you. Most people who try this do not succeed. That is fine. You are not most people. You are the delusional one, the exception, the statistic you will become. The 14th strategy. Delude in writing. Your spoken delusions are easily forgotten. Written delusions become contracts. Write your delusion as if it has already happened. I am a published author. I am a business owner. I am a marathon runner. Read it every day. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined future and a real memory. The 17th strategy: ignore the imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is the voice of a realist hiding in your head. It says you are not qualified, not ready, not worthy. Of course you are not qualified. You are doing something no one has done. There is no qualification for the unprecedented. The 16th strategy: rest. Delusional rest. Burnout kills delusion. Your mind needs to wander, to play, to do nothing. Schedule rest as seriously as you schedule work. The delusional person who burns out achieves nothing. The delusional person who rests achieves over decades. The final strategy: promise yourself you will never stop being delusional. Not about everything, about the one thing. The thing that makes you come alive, even if you fail, even if you look foolish, even if no one believes. You will keep your delusion, because it is not a delusion. It is the truest thing about you. The 18th strategy: delude with gratitude, not desperation. Desperate delusion is brittle. It screams, I need this to happen or I will die. Grateful delusion whispers, I am
already lucky to be trying. Whatever happens, I have already won. The first burns out. The second endures. You have the strategies. You have the permission. You have the delusion. Now, go. Not someday. Today. The world is waiting for the thing only you can make. Be delusional enough to believe that. And disciplined enough to build it. Part 1 gave you permission. Part 2 gave you strategy. Part 3 is about the long game. Because the hardest part of delusion is not starting. It is continuing after the novelty fades, after the doubt returns, after the world moves on. The first long game skill: detach from milestones. Milestones are useful maps, but they become cages when you treat them as the point. The delusion is not finishing the book. It is being a writer. The delusion is not reaching the goal. It is becoming someone who reaches goals. The process is the product. Here is the truth no one tells you. Delusion becomes boring. The electric thrill of believing the impossible fades. You wake up one day and the dream feels ordinary, even pointless. This is not a sign to quit. This is the sign that your delusion is maturing. Excitement is for beginners. Commitment is for masters. The third long game skill: make your delusion portable. Life will move you. Cities, jobs, relationships, health, all change. Your delusion must be able to move with you. Do not attach it to a specific desk, a specific city, a specific person. Attach it to your identity. Wherever you go, you take the delusion with you. The second long game skill: cycle your delusion. No one can be delusional about the same thing in the same way every day forever. You will have seasons. Sometimes you will believe fiercely. Sometimes you will doubt. Sometimes you will forget why you started. That is not failure. That is rhythm. Cycle through belief, doubt, and action. Always action. The fourth long game skill: cultivate invisible progress. Most progress is invisible. The neural pathways you are building, the habits you are cementing, the resilience you are growing. Do not despair when no one claps. The applause comes later. First, the roots grow where no one sees. The sixth long game skill: delude in community. Long-term delusion is lonely. You need others who also refuse to quit. Not a cheering section. Fellow travelers who understand the exhaustion, the doubt, the long nights. Find them. Build with them. Their delusion will feed yours. The fifth long game skill: let your delusion evolve. The delusion you started with may not be the delusion you end with. That is not betrayal. That is growth. The painter becomes a sculptor. The entrepreneur pivots. The writer changes genres. Hold the core identity. I am a creator. But let the expression change. The seventh long game skill: renew your delusion. Your delusion will get tired. It will become the wallpaper of your life. Familiar, invisible. You must actively renew it. Reread your manifesto. Return to your origin. Remember why you started when no one else believed. The ninth long game skill: delude through failure cycles. Failure is not a single event. It is a cycle. You will try, fail, recover, try again. The cycle repeats. The skill is not avoiding failure. It is shortening the recovery time. Fail faster. Recover faster. Learn faster. the cycle speeds up. The 10th long game skill: delude about your legacy. Not for ego, for perspective. Your current struggle feels enormous because you are in it. Zoom out. Imagine someone 50 years from now reading about what you built. They will not care about your bad day. They will care that you kept going. Build for that reader. The 8th long game skill: build a second delusion. Not to replace the first, to accompany it. The first delusion is your primary, your life's work. The second delusion is a side path, a curiosity, a plaything. It keeps you flexible. It reminds you that you can start again. It protects you from putting all your identity in one basket. The 12th long game skill: schedule delusional review. Weekly, monthly, yearly, look back at your delusion. What worked? What didn't? What do you need to adjust? The delusion is not a sacred, unchanging relic. It is a living thing. Review it, revise it, revive it. The 11th long game skill: delude through envy. You will see others succeed faster. They will seem luckier, more talented, more connected. Envy is natural. Do not suppress it. Use it. Let envy point to what you truly want. Then channel it into action, not bitterness. The 14th long game skill: delude at the edge of burnout. Burnout is real. It is not weakness. It is physics. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Learn the signs: exhaustion, cynicism, inefficacy. When you see them, stop. Rest. Not as a failure, as a strategy. The delusion will wait. The 13th long game skill: teach your delusion. Teaching forces you to clarify, to simplify, to defend. It also creates witnesses. When you teach someone else to be delusional, you become more delusional yourself. The teacher learns more than the student. Share your delusion generously. The 16th long game skill: delude with mortality in mind. You will die. Not someday, eventually. Your delusion is a response to that fact. You are choosing to spend your finite hours on something that matters to you. That choice is already a victory, regardless of outcome. Die having tried. The 15th long game skill: celebrate the delusion, not just the outcome. Outcome celebrations are rare and brief. Delusion celebrations are always available. You woke up and worked on your delusion today? Celebrate. You showed up? Celebrate. You are still in the game. That is the victory. The 18th long game skill: become the delusion. Not I am pursuing my delusion. Not I am working toward my delusion. I am my delusion. The separation between you and the dream dissolves. You are not chasing something outside yourself. You are expressing something inside yourself. When you become the delusion, quitting is impossible because you would have to quit being yourself. The 17th long game skill: delude beyond evidence. You will have years where nothing seems to work. No progress, no recognition, no results. This is the desert. The delusion must survive on faith alone. This is the hardest test. Most quit here. Those who keep walking through the desert eventually find water. The 20th and final long game skill: delude forever. Not until you succeed, not until you retire. Forever. The delusion is not a project with an end date. It is a way of being. You will be delusional on your last day, not because you haven't achieved, but because there is always more to become. The 19th long game skill, delude in gratitude for the struggle. You will look back one day and realize the struggle was the gift. The doubt taught you resilience. The failure taught you humility. The long nights taught you discipline. Do not wish away the hard parts. They are making you into someone who can hold the success when it comes. This is the trilogy of delusion: permission, strategy, integration. You have everything you need. The only question left is not can you? The question is, will you? Will you be delusional long enough to become the person who achieves the impossible? Be delusional, not for a day, for a lifetime. The world needs what only you can become.